Everyone, hope you all are doing well. So this is the year end, and I just thought before the year ends I'll just quickly make another video for my mental health awareness series, that is Humanity Ki Chain. So this is the 9th episode of my series, and the guest joining me today is Dr.Priya Krish from London. She's a 25-year-old medical doctor. She's also a mental health awareness and inner child healing advocate. And she has been running this inspirational stories series on her Instagram, which is worth checking out. Hashtag Project Inspistories. So I just reached out to her to share her views on mental health, and she has come up with an amazing video. I think you should check this out, and we'll meet next year with more content. And I'm so thankful to all of you for being a part of my chain, Humanity Ki Chain. And I'll be doing a separate video for expressing my gratitude and for everything I've done in 2019. For now, let's hear from Dr. Priya. Welcome to my 9th episode of this series, Dr. Priya, and thank you for joining me.
Hi, my name is Priya. I'm a doctor, and I'm extremely flattered to be asked by Priyanka to speak to you guys, because I believe, especially in our society today in India and around the world, it's highly important that we raise awareness and break the stigma around mental health and mental well-being, and we should get more people to be self-aware of the fact that it's okay to be not okay and imperfect, because we all suffer from anxiety. Most of us do go through depressive episodes in our lives, probably because of stress in the workplace, stress in the education places like universities, schooling, and families, because of childhood, and in unfortunate cases because of abuse. So it's highly important as responsible adults that we first of all look after ourselves, look after our own mental health, and then put a hand out and raise our hands to say yes, it does exist, and we are going to tackle it together. And if anyone needs help, we should be there for each other and one another. The reason being, the suicide rates around the world is increasingly high, and most of it is due to mental health reasons, and the feeling of being unable to cope. And I think it's extremely important that we should prevent certain preventable scenarios, because people, or when people are in such a low state of mind, they lose self-respect, the love for themselves, to the point that they don't want to even live anymore. So it's a serious topic, but at the same time, there's a degree of problems with mental health. So it can be in a spectrum, so from anxiety to depression to suicidal thoughts to reactions to inner child trauma. Now, a little bit about me. I've always enjoyed studying and as a doctor, I enjoy psychiatry. But the thing that really got me into the whole mental health awareness movement is when you're sort of rock bottom yourself. And I felt that way when I first started my first job. I just felt really anxious, which led me to quit the job because I couldn't cope anymore. And that's when I realized how important your mental health is. So the mind and the body are all connected, and if your mind isn't well, your body wouldn't be well, and the other way around as well. So this is why exercising and looking after yourself, eating healthy, is all important, because it will affect the mind. So there's a connection, and the fact that we don't give, or at least from what I've seen, there's not much of an importance to the mind as opposed to for example, exercising, eating healthy, is what frustrates me, because we need to exercise our minds just as much. And when I mean exercising our minds, it means things like being aware of when you're feeling anxious or just not yourself, and doing certain exercises to prevent further, damage in a way. And what I mean by damage is losing your willpower to look after yourself, or losing motivation to get up in the morning and just look at yourself in the mirror. So it's an umbrella of things, but at the end of the day, the message is we're all important, we're all beautiful, we're all amazing, and it starts from within. We have to love ourselves, and there is nothing more stronger than someone who recognizes that they do have certain issues per se, and takes an active effort to solve those certain issues. For example, I realized, yes, I had anxiety issues. I really did suffer from anxiety. My heart rate would go up very, very high whenever I was called to do something in the hospital, more than, or what it seemed like, more than my colleagues did, to the point that I would just freeze. But instead of ignoring that and thinking it's part of life, I decided to really do some research and started reading up on psychology, and it led to a lot of self discovery, to the point that I started doing CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. And whenever I had some triggers, for example, a trigger for me is when I don't do things perfectly. If something goes wrong, I was extremely self-critical. But nowadays, I tell myself that I'm only human and mistakes do happen, and it's all in the mind. It's what we tell ourselves. So our thoughts results in our feelings result to our overall, being, and our thoughts and feelings then dictate how we are as people, in terms of happiness, in terms of just confidence and self-esteem. So this is all because I went through a certain phase. So I know a lot of people out there who are pretty stressed out in the workplace and probably don't know what to do. But the first thing we should do is accept that mental health is just as important, and there's nothing wrong with talking about it. And it's all basically self-love, and just love yourself, spread the love, and there is nothing wrong. I cannot, emphasize it more, that there is nothing wrong with feeling a bit not so okay, because that's the only way you can start to improve and lead a better life. And thank you very much for listening, and thank you to Priyanka for allowing me to be part of your YouTube series.